Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. SLP candidate for Choiseul Saltibus, Dr. Pauline Antoine Prosper, has retracted recent statements made about the re-elected MP Bradley Felix. Her comments that Felix will be powerless in the constituency now that the SLP is in power and he is in opposition have been met with condemnation by those who say that she is preaching the same Belrose doctrine that the Labour Party decried mere months ago.
From the new government, the St. Lucia Labour Party was the right choice, and even if Choiseul chose Bradley, Bradley's powerless now.
That comment has landed SLP candidate Pauline Antoine Prosper in hot water mere days after the SLP secured victory in the July 26 general elections. The comments were not taken too kindly by many who chastise Antoine Prosper for practicing the exact mantra that her party opposes. She released a statement to apologize for her comments.
My dear people of Choiseul Saltibus, my statement about the Honorable Bradley Felix being powerless, given that the Labour Party has won, uttered while thanking you, was not meant in any way to reduce his representation to the people. I respect his victory as the duly elected Member of Parliament for Choiseul Saltibus. The people of Choiseul Saltibus will be served by him and by the government of St. Lucia. I recognize that I should have chosen my words more carefully to avoid any confusion and misinterpretation. And for this, I strongly and sincerely apologize to Mr. Felix and the constituents of Choiseul Saltibus.
Antoine Prosper lost to Bradley Felix in Monday's general elections by 385 votes. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
As St. Lucians get set to celebrate Emancipation Day on Sunday, the 1st of August, the former president of the Ayanola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari, Aaron Alexander, is calling on St. Lucians to not take for granted the rights and freedoms they have been afforded due to emancipation.
On August 1, Anglophone Caribbean nations commemorate Emancipation Day, marking the 1834 abolition of slavery in the British Empire and the 1838 abolition of apprenticeship, a system which forced formerly enslaved people to continue to work uncompensated for their British masters. The Slavery Abolition Act, which banned slavery in the British colonies, followed a shift in the British Empire's economic interests and sustained resistance by enslaved people through massive slave revolts. The former president of the Ayanola Council for the Advancement of Rastafari, Aaron Alexander, is admonishing St. Lucians to never forget the struggles, lest the tides are reversed.
Emancipation is dear to the heart of black people all over the world. It is well accepted all over the world that unless the rights of the least of men are as assiduously protected as those of the greatest, then the seeds of confidence in human rights and human dignity will fall on barren soil. All men must stand equal under the law as they are in the eyes of the Creator. Our ancestors upon whose shoulders we stand today fought a bitter struggle in order that we can enjoy some of the rights and freedoms and businesses we have today. Never take those rights and freedoms and businesses that we have today for granted, because it can so easily be taken away if we are not careful and vigilant. And then we may just end up in slavery in the 21st century.
Alexander drew similarities to emancipation with the recently held general elections.
Just Monday gone by, our people voted in a landslide election, hence emancipating ourselves from political darkness. The people have spoken convincingly, and the people have spoken with a loud voice. Now, in the spirit of emancipation and in the spirit of our slain ancestors, we must now get ready to fight against medical tyranny, which seeks to infringe upon our rights to choose what goes into our bodies.
British slave traders kidnapped over 3 million people along the west coast of Africa, trafficked them across the Atlantic, and subjected them to forced labor and torture on the colonial plantations. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
While some constituencies registered a lower voter turnout when compared to the 2016 general election, statistician Edwin St. Catherine says the overall voter turnout for 2021 was higher than 2016. He gave an analysis of the votes to Hot 7 TV News.
Many have indicated that they are uninterested in participating in the process of elections. One effect of voter apathy can be low voter turnout on election day. The St. Lucia 2021 general election saw a decrease in the voter turnout percentage when compared to 2016. Interestingly, statistician and CEO of Data Point Solutions, Edwin St. Catherine, says that does not mean less people voted.
The total number of voters in 2021, that is on Monday, was 9,052. The total number of voters in 2016 was 86,552. Okay? A 3.9% or a 3% difference between these two numbers. So there were more voters who voted on Monday by 3% than there was in 2016.
St. Catherine explained that the data used to identify how many people are qualified to vote may not show an accurate picture of how many people are going to vote.
It is clear that especially when you look at the change in the population size, okay, which is hardly increasing or projected to decrease, you have to conclude that the total number of electors registered is growing at a much more rapid pace than our growth in population. And consequently, it appears that these numbers are inflated. They are inflated because people leave St. Lucia permanently to go abroad. They don't come back to vote. The majority of them don't. Yet they are using, to compute voter turnout, we are using that number.
He says suggestions have been made to employ other data such as the population size rather than data that shows all St. Lucians above the age of 18.
It is better to use the population size for persons 18 years and over, which is closer to 135,000. So, in my view, voter turnout may have increased slightly because we do certainly see that there was a 3% increase in the number of persons who cast votes.
St. Catherine says the results of the 2021 general election should be analyzed by all stakeholders. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Many continue to discuss the victory of Emma Hippolyte in the Soufrière-Fort-Saint-Jacques constituency against Herod Stanislas. Hippolyte has indicated that she and the former parliamentary representative will be working in tandem to ensure the development and continued progress of Soufrière. She says there is no bad blood between them.
In addition to being the tourism mecca blessed with lush vegetation, many say Soufrière is well known during the election season of being one of the constituencies that cannot be called a safe seat for any political party. Following the nail-biting election period, the SLP's Emma Hippolyte won former Soufrière MP Herod Stanislas by 65 votes. Stanislas has been lauded by many for the transformation of Soufrière town. Hippolyte, however, was still able to unseat Stanislas. Many have found this remarkable given the work that was put into the constituency. The MP says the policies of the previous party were focused more on projects rather than people.
You speak about physical development. There was an absence of human development. And the issue is the government was absent when the people needed them most. And Emma was present when the people needed help. And the long and short of it is the communication and understanding the people that you're serving and the type of relationship that you establish with your people.
Sticking to the theme of inclusivity of the St. Lucia Labour Party, Hippolyte says she will be working with the former MP to ensure the continued elevation of Soufrière.
Et puis après-midi, là, moi, je voulais dire merci pour Jean Soufrière Fauché-Jacques, constituency Soufrière Fauché-Jacques, pour manière de sortir et puis supporter moi. Moi, j'étais là avec eux, moi, sorti là, et puis j'ai regardé la commission, moi, j'étais baillé, et puis j'ai accepté. À présent là, bon matin, Honorable Harold Stanislas Kouye moi, et puis nous parler, et puis là nous voulons travailler ensemble avec là. C'est pour mener tout le peuple Soufrière Fauché-Jacques ensemble. Soufrière Fauché-Jacques passe à Pogoué, et puis c'est moun ka goumé avec yon l'autre.
Hippolyte explained that now that the political season is over, it is time to hit the ground running.
We had a tough fight. I was never afraid of any physical structures in terms of going for the fight. I've been a fighter all my life. I believe very clearly that as long as you're going out to do the right thing and you're doing it for the people, that the people will recognize that you are working in their interests. And the people recognize that Emma Hippolyte is there to work in their interests. They recognize that. They've given me that mandate, and going into the future is to bring all the people of Soufrière Fauché-Jacques, and as you heard from the Prime Minister, all the people of St. Lucia together so that we can progress together.
She has promised that whatever must be done to ensure the holistic development of Soufrière Fauché-Jacques will be done. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Massy Stores continues to blaze a trail of philanthropy throughout St. Lucia. This time, the retailer lent a helping hand to ensure the comfort of the dedicated medical staff at the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, which comprises the Owen King EU Hospital, the National Mental Wellness Center, and the Turning Point Rehabilitation Center.
Long, hard, and sometimes exhausting days typically characterize the work of medical professionals. The last year has been even more so with the COVID-19 pandemic. The donation of $10,000 worth of home goods comprising modern energy-efficient appliances, both large and small, is expected to bring much-needed relief to the hard-working teams at the three institutions which make up the complex. Charmaine Anthony, Senior Human Resource Manager of the medical complex, was on hand at Massy Stores Home, Sunny Acres, to receive the goods from the Massy team.
Our employees are expected to work truly long hours, and so we understand the need for comfort. We understand the need to create a space and an environment that makes it conducive for them to work whilst we're in our beds and they're working overnight. It's really important that we pay attention to their well-being, and as an HR department, our goal is to ensure that our employees' comfort, their well-being is put first. It's a priority for us. If I were to use the slogan of Massy Stores Home, I'd like to say that this donation is our way to beautiful lounges for our staff. Thank you.
This is not Massy Stores' first intervention in support of the medical sector since COVID-19. According to Division Head of Corporate Communications, Soraya Best Joseph, at the onset of the pandemic, Massy Stores was among the first to respond to this crisis in a very big way.
Massy Stores, we pride ourselves on being a force for good. And when we were approached by the organization to support the lounges of the three institutions that fall under the complex, we were very happy to support.
Best Joseph says the company is honored and feels a huge sense of pride in being able to respond in this way to help furnish the staff lounges of the medical complex.
Happy to be part of what you are doing as an organization, and happy to be part of St. Lucia's response to COVID. The range of appliances, etc., that we offer means that we were able to make a nice selection for you, and we trust that those who will be entrusted the equipment will definitely enjoy. The measure of comfort is, as I said, I'm sure so critical.
Throughout the global health crisis, Massy Stores St. Lucia continues to show care for community and environment to help foster positive changes and to transform lives. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Stay with us. There's more news after the break.